My name is Roman Armstrong, and this is Hard Stretch.
I'm freaked out.
Hi guys, and welcome to this week's AlakazamMagicUK Live. I have got a special guest with me this week, but it's not Wayne. Wayne unfortunately is poorly, so get well soon, Wayne, if you're watching. Just to let you know, the live launch for our next release, which is Hard Stretch, is happening on the 28th of this month, not the 30th. So put that in your diaries, scrub out the 30th, put the 28th. And this is an effect that I presume every close-up worker is gonna want. It is phenomenal. Anyway, without further ado, let's introduce our special guest, because I haven't even checked the audio with him. So we'll introduce it now, the legendary Mr. Craig Petty. Hello, mate.
Hello, Mr. Nolly. How are you? How's the audio going? Everything okay?
I can hear you. Yeah, you're quite quiet in here, but I think it's my headphone. I don't think it's you. I think it's my headphone, okay. So I'll try and switch it for another one. So how are you? And thank you so much for joining us at such short notice. Literally 5 minutes. Welcome.
Yeah, it's like, do you want to come on the live? Yeah, okay, why not? Let's do it. No, it's good. I was just hanging around in the office doing nothing. So yeah, that's great. I've had a really good week. I was at Newmarket with Wayne before he was ill for his sort of Cambridge meetup, and it was super fun. It was amazing. It was really, it wasn't a convention. It was just a load of people hanging out and showing each other magic and just having a good time.
Do you know what? I was hoping to be there, but we couldn't go because we had family down. But I've heard from so many people how awesome it was. I had a big chat with John Carey yesterday. We usually have a weekly catch up. And John was saying it's one of the best places, like magic, not conventions, like you said, it weren't a convention, but magic gatherings he's been to in quite a while. And I think a lot of that was because it was just a big group of mates getting together and sharing magic.
That's it, yeah. I mean, you had a lot of the guys there that hang out at the ALAKAZAM shop, so you had a load of those people. So, and you know what? There was a kind of a gala show in the evening where Wayne compared a show, and what was really nice is you had some really experienced people that were doing magic on that gala show. You know, people like Oliver Tabor. Yeah. But you also had a lot of people that were brand new, that had never performed on stage before in their entire life. And there were like 30, 40 people, maybe even more in the audience, including a bunch of lay people from the venue that he was holding it in. And seeing them go up and perform and having the guts to go out and do a trick in front of everybody, having never performed on stage before, was just great. You know, that for me is what magic's all about.
Yeah, and speaking to Wayne as well, he was saying that, you know, a few people sort of watched the first half and went, oh, do you know what? I'll get up and do something. And it just shows you how friendly it all was. You know, it was just a really good meetup. I can't wait to go next year. Wayne is doing another one next year. It's limited to about 35 people because of the venue.
Room. Not that many people there, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was great. Just everyone sitting around sessioning and people trying out new tricks. Ryland, tried out 2 or 3 new routines in the gala show in the evening, and you know, everyone got a chance to try new stuff out. So it was good. It was really good.
Yeah, John Carey was talking about Ryland a lot yesterday, and just like he was fooled badly by a couple of the effects that Ryland did. Yeah, I
think. You know what? I mean, I feel sometimes I bang on about him a bit too much, you know, like because I do talk about him all the time. He's like my son, right? But I think that if you've watched him on BGT, or you just see him hanging around at a convention. I don't think people realize that a 9-year-old can have the stage presence and being good as he is.
Yeah.
And he always surprises people that have never seen him perform live before. When you see him walk out and do a spot on stage, and he did like a 25-minute spot at this night, I'm blown away. He was doing cups and balls, egg bag, cue manipulation, predictions, mentalism. He did the mechanical prediction. He does. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Yeah, and I do think I've talked about him a bit too much, but I'm so proud of him.
Well, the fact that Russ Brown keeps booking him to go up to House of Illusion, not House of Illusion, House of Secrets. House of Secrets.
And they charge ticket so that people buy tickets to come and watch his show, and every single time he packs that place out, like every single time. And he's got now 4 45-minute shows that he just rotates, like 4 45-minute stage shows, which is just ridiculous on top of all the close-up he does. So he's back up on the 25th, 26th, and 27th with a brand new show, including a couple of the bits that he tried out for the first time at Newmarket. So, yeah, brand new show. He spent the last few weeks practicing the dancing cane.
Oh, wow.
Well, he really wants to get into sort of, he calls it Russ Stevens magic. He wants to get into sort of manipulation. Yeah. He's been watching all of Russ's old videos on the internet, and Russ has been teaching him card manipulation. So he's learning back palming and all of this stuff. So
fantastic.
He spent a long time practicing the dancing cane. And yeah, Tommy is correct. Maisie Parker is incredible. Magic Maisie is really great. I mean, she's, I can't believe she's 13. She's so level-headed and so professional for a 13-year-old. And her delivery is just exceptional. The way that she did it, she's clear, she's concise. There's no extraneous words or anything. Like, her stage presence is excellent. We'll put it this way. I've given her the biggest honor which I can give her, which is next week or this week, I'm interviewing her for Magic TV. Because I just think that people need to know her story. Only 13 years old, what she's achieved and what she's done. She's going to be a force to be reckoned with in this industry, 100%.
Yeah, she was on the live I think it was, I don't know if it was this year or last year, it might have been earlier this year. And she performed Dobson's Invisible Card. And she does it, I think it's one of her signature pieces. It's one of the things she does all the time. But she does it flawlessly. Like, really does. Really, really good.
And I still say that Dobson's Wayne's Invisible Purse routine is probably the best version of Invisible Deck that you're going to see.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good. It's so good.
Right, there's a few comments coming in. Oh, Tommy Burnett, our friend Tommy from New York City, said Maisie's performing tonight on his show. It's a free show. You can find it if you go to Tommy's Facebook group. Tommy, feel free to put a link in the chat. You should be able to watch the show. Mark James said, I hope Ryland is still practicing the billiard balls. It's in his new AlakazamMagicUK Academy, which is coming up very, very soon. In fact, I've got a little trailer to play in a bit.
Well, I'll tell you something. Ryland met Mark at... Mark's such a great performer. For my money, I'd say he's probably the best. I'm trying to think if there's anyone, but I think he's the best comedy performer, magician in the country right now. I don't think there's anybody that's even close to him. And Ryland went to watch his show at the IBM. He was doing the opening show at the IBM, brought the house down. And there were two things that Ryland took from Mark's show, that one of which I've allowed him to practice and one of which I haven't. So ever since he watched Mark, he's been practicing billiard ball manipulation. I had to get him the Bon Lee ball, so he's just doing that constantly. And Mark's got this beautiful routine with rain coming down. It's just amazing. The other thing that he wanted to learn after watching Mark was fire eating. And I was like, no, Ryland, no. You know that you've got a problem when you go into the living room and your 9-year-old son is on your phone Googling how to eat fire. That's never a good situation.
Yeah, you've got to draw the
really
line.
Yeah,
There's
you really
been a
have.
supportive parent and a stupid parent.
Yeah, right. So no, he's gonna be a bit older before. But I didn't realize that Mark had an academy on Tuesday. Like Ryland will absolutely want to do that. Ryland's met so many magicians, and we were speaking about this the other day. And one of his favorite magicians of all time is Mark. That show just blew him away that he watched at the IBM.
Yeah, Mark's great. So while we're speaking about it, I might as well play the trailer. So we'll pop off, we'll play the trailer. Guys, if you didn't join us last week, now whenever we play a trailer, there will be a QR code in the corner. You can actually scan that code and it will take you straight to the product on our website. So, guys, a lot of banging going on around here. So anyway, let's play the trailer to Mark James's Academy, and Craig will be back with you in a bit.
Hey friends, it's Mark James, and I'm here to let you know that on the 22nd of November, I will be coming back for my 4th AlakazamMagicUK Academy, number 4. Don't worry if you missed the other 3 though. I'm going to recap on a couple of my absolute favourite bits from previous lectures, the things that were most popular, got the most questions, the things that people were most interested in the first couple of times. But I'm also going to be bringing you some brand new magic. Yes, things that I've never taught before, things that have never been seen in a lecture, things that you will have only seen if you've seen me perform in the last year. So we're going to be going on a deep dive into opening effects, how to choose an opening effect, what is important in an opening effect for you as a performer, as well as what is important for the audience. How do you set out your stall character-wise? All of the things that an opening effect needs to do, from pace, character, all of the details. I'll also be teaching you 3 different opening effects. One of them makes use of an invisible deck, might just become your new opener. Another one is vanishing an elephant, something I've been doing for the last year. And the third is a trick that I've been opening with for about 10 years, my all-time favorite stage routine, the chop cup. So you're going to get 3 opening effects. I'm also going to teach you a really cool theatrical thing where the audience all close their eyes. You tell a story from The Wizard of Oz and everybody comes to the same conclusion at the same time. It's super fun. Everybody gets involved, and I absolutely love performing it because it uses almost no props, and yet it feels like a huge trick. And I'm going to talk about that too. I'm going to talk about how to take your routines that may seem small and turn them into huge stage-filling theatrical routines. How to put a show together, and a huge chat on how to get inspired for shows and how to insert the things that genuinely inspire you into the shows that you're doing now. How I get inspired for tricks. I'm going to talk about my last 5 theatrical shows and what inspired those. And by talking about the things behind my decision making, I think I'll be able to help you come to decisions like that for yourself. It's kind of that give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, give a man a fishing rod and he'll feed his family for a lifetime. It's kind of that idea. Instead of just talking about what I did, I'm going to talk to you about how to always be able to find new inspiration for your own tricks and a cool way to use those inspirations in your shows. As well as that, I'll have loads of other cool stage magic, little bits of sleight of hand, things for the beginner all the way through to the professional, theatrical stage performance tricks. Absolutely no close-up magic at all. So if you are a stage performer, and whether or not you've seen my previous Alakazam Academies or not, I promise there is going to be something for you in installment number 4 on the 22nd of November. I'll see you then, friends. Bye, everyone.
There you go. That is Mark James's Academy. You can join us. It's the 22nd of November, so I believe that's next week, and Mark will be right here in the studio. I'm really looking forward to that.
That's going to be great. I mean, yeah, what else can you say? I haven't just said Mark is amazing. He mentioned the chop cup there, and I watched his chop cup at the IBM, and it was just he had little tips and little ideas, and I think I'm pretty good at the chop cup, right? I think I know what I'm doing with the chop cup.
Yeah.
And I took like 5 or 6 things from his performance and explanation of the Chop Cup that I'd never even considered. And I think sometimes magicians get into their head, I don't need to learn about that. I know everything there is to learn about that. Well, when you're somebody like Mark James, who's performed that routine on every stage around the country, every night, and figured out exactly why it works and how it works, then you'd be an idiot not to listen to what he's got to say.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why he's so busy. There's a reason why he's performing at such a high level. There's a reason why every single magic convention and every single venue wants to book him. There's a reason why he's traveled around the world performing. He's done Penguin Lives, he's done academies, and they have him back over and over again. Why? Because he delivers every single time. You know, he delivers every single time. And, you know, I remember seeing, I can talk about so many routines he does that are excellent, but I really just think that people need to buy this.
He is great.
Academy.
And even though this is his 4th academy, this is the first academy that he's actually going to be here in the studio. The other academies were all filmed during lockdown. So they were filmed remotely. So we're very excited to have him down here. We're going to have a little audience out there, I believe, that he's going to be performing to. So yeah, it's going to be a great night. So guys, grab your tickets now. And remember, even if you can't make it at the date or time, it doesn't matter, because the whole evening is recorded and you'll receive it for you to enjoy and keep forever. So I'm not sure if you can see the comments that are coming up, Craig.
I only see Mark's. No, I could go onto my phone.
Oh, no, that's all right. I can read them out. I'll read them out if you can't see them. So Mark said, wow, thanks, Craig. I don't agree, but I'll take it.
See, humble as well.
Yeah,
humble
Mark's
as well.
watching. Michael put, Mark is a brilliant, hilarious performer, and his teaching is fantastic, highly recommended. Yeah, I concur. Tommy Burnett said that's going to be great. And
actually, you know, Michael's got a point there. I've seen some great performers that really struggle to explain their magic. They know how to do it, and I'm sure you have as well, Pete. They know how to perform, and they can walk on any stage around the world and they can smash it. But when it comes to actually explaining the process or explaining it, you kind of watch them and you kind of left feeling cold because you don't really fully get what they're trying to deliver. But Mark is one of those, you know, there's people like Mark. John Archer is somebody else. John Allen is somebody else. Nick Einhorn. There's certain people that can perform at a very level, but they can also then explain it very clearly. And it's explained in a way that makes it, thanks, Jack, just had a coffee brought to me. Explained it in a way that makes it so easy to understand. Because I think I've watched a lot of lectures recently, and what I've found is there's a lot of people that teach that make it sound so much more complicated than it actually is. And you watch it and you're like, I don't really understand this, but it's actually a really simple thing to grasp, but it's been explained in an overly complicated way. And people, like I say, like Nick Einhorn, like John Allen, like yourself, like Mark James, like David Penn, those sort of, like Michael Murray, who we were speaking about earlier, these types of people, I think that's what makes a great teacher of magic, when they don't just perform it, but they explain it in a way that makes you think to yourself, well, actually, yeah, I get that and I can do that. And I think that's a skill that we don't talk about very often. That I think is an important skill to have if you're going to be
100%
ultimately teaching.
Whenever we're filming a project with a new creator, one of the things I say to them is think about your explanation, rehearse your explanation. You can do the trick. We know you can do the trick. But explaining it is where you're going to trip yourself up. And you find so many people sort of jump from here to here because they haven't got it set out in their mind how to break it down and explain it. And you're right, a good teacher means everything. You know, you look at John Carey and people like that, and their teaching is just easy to follow and precise. There's a question coming for you actually from Alex Bow. And Alex says, Craig, do you always use a lemon at the end of your chop cup, or do you use any other endings?
No, I rarely use a lemon. I only use a lemon because the problem, I used to. So when I first started doing chop, I would go to a gig and I would take like 10 lemons in a carrier bag prepped, and I'd put them behind the bar, and I'd do chop, and I'd do the lemon, and then I'd go and get another lemon, go and get another lemon, go and get another lemon. And as I've got older, I've just got to a point when I'm doing close-up, and I think it's because when I do stage shows, the illusion shows, it is such a pain in the arse. It's an all-day thing, loading up the van, screwing props together. So when I do close-up, I want to keep it as simple as possible. I don't want to be sitting there as good as things like, like you see, people making ice blocks appear, and cards in chocolate bars, and silks in apples and stuff, and it's all well and good, but it involves sitting there for 2 hours beforehand prepping it before a gig, and I'd rather just go and do the gig. So these days I kind of go one of three routes. If I'm doing a parlor show, I always do chop. If I'm doing sort of a cabaret show, I'll always do chop. And I always do, if I'm basically doing a one-off performance, I'll do chop, and I'll do the Bill and Lemon as a finale. If I'm doing a wedding, I'll do chop, but I won't use a cardboard cup. I think that's a bit tacky at a wedding. I'll use one of the ceramic cups from the venue, because a lot of people forget that chop is actually able to be done with any ceramic cup as well as a cardboard cup, and people forget about that. But you can use literally any cup. It's designed to use any cup. So if it's a bride and groom, for example, I'll do. But if I'm planning on doing it multiple times in one night, I will not do the Bill and Lemon finale. I might produce a lemon and then produce the bill from somewhere else, or I've got lots of other ways to do it as well. So, for example, ways I've played around with in the past is I've got a big, huge, massive ball the size of a food that's made out of blue tack, and I use that as the final load, and I bring out blue tack and I ball up the blue tack, loading the gimmick into the blue tack, and I do the chop routine with blue tack in essence, and then I make a big blue tack appear from the end, which is really good. Another way that I've done it is making my AirPods appear, and then the bill goes into my wallet. That works. Another way that I've actually done it in the past is by showing a purse, like a TCC style purse, putting it away in my pocket and say, we'll get back to that a little bit later on. Do the chop routine, and at the end of the chop routine, the bill disappears, and then when I lift up the cup, you've got the purse under there, and the purse has reappeared, and it's kind of like a callback from the start of the routine. And you go, here's what's weird, and they open up the purse, and inside is the bill that they've signed that was used throughout the whole of the routine. So there's lots of different ways that you can actually go with it. I've played around in the past with making a ball of wool appear, which was actually inspired by something Mark James did, making a ball of wool appear and then making the bill appear inside the ball of wool. That's something I've played around with in the past as well. But no, I tend not to use the lemon unless it's a one-off performance. I used to, and you can do, but I can't be asked to prep it anymore.
Right. I've just had a text from Mark James. Let me have a quick look at what he's saying. He just put, I'm willing to risk my house that you're off screen right now so you can use your vape. When I went off screen, I thought it was going to be something important, like you forgot to mention this. Right.
He knows you very well, Pete, I'll say that much.
So if you've got any questions for Craig, drop them in the chat, and I'll pass them over to him. So Craig, also later on this month, as you saw right at the beginning, we've got the launch of a brand new product called Hard Stretch. Now, you were the guy that sort of arranged this for us. It was your
I'm still
friend.
waiting for my finder's fee.
You were?
I'm still waiting for my finder's fee.
Yeah, I was going to say, my battery's running out. I'm finding it really hard to hear certain things at the moment. But I remember the day you rang me up and said, right, I'm going to send you a video, sit down and watch it. And
well, I saw Roman do this, and I've known Roman for years. To put into context how long I've known Roman, I got booked to do his 10th birthday party.
Wow.
And yeah, I got booked to do his 10th birthday party, and I'd known him before then. So I've known Roman for a very long time. And when I saw him do this, well, I saw a video of him do it. He said, "What do you think of this?" I was like, "Man, that's amazing." And then he was working with Nemid, who, for my money, is one of the best close-up magicians in the UK. And Nemid rang me, and he never rings me. He tries to avoid me wherever possible. He rang me, and he was like, "I've just seen this thing by Roman." And I was like, "I've just seen a video. Is it as good in real life?" He's like, "It's amazing." And then I saw him do it, and I was like, "Roman, what are you doing with this?" He's like, "Oh, I'll just put it together." I'm like, "Man, this is the best thing in this genre of magic I've ever seen. You need to release this only because I want to do it." And he's like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yeah, you do. Let me put you in touch with Pete." And I immediately rang you, and I was like, "You need to reach out to Roman like now." And the rest is history. And I was very lucky and honored to be a part of the project in terms of I was kind of his co-host on screen, and you know, watching him explain it in the tutorial. And it became a bit of a project, really, didn't it? Because it was originally just going to be hard stretch the trick, but we talked about so much else that you could do leading up to that trick, and how to incorporate it in different routines and different ideas. I mean, it became a much longer project than it was originally intended to be. It's incredible. I think the best, the way I can describe it, and I said this to you, I said, in every genre of magic, there is that thing that everybody does because it's guaranteed to be a just surefire hit. In card magic, it's an Omni deck. You know, whenever you pull out an Omni deck, you do it right, it's gonna destroy the room. It's the game changer. You can't follow an Omni deck. In coin magic, it's the jumbo coin production. When you make a jumbo coin appear, that's it. Forget about it. All they want to see is that jumbo coin. The genre of magic that Roman's focusing on here with hard stretch, there isn't that prop. There isn't that thing.
There isn't.
And I think
ending,
that this is it. This is the trick. I promise you, this every single close-up worker is going to want to have this. If they do magic within this genre, they'd be stupid not to get it. And if they don't do magic within this genre, I think this particular trick is going to make them want to do it.
Yeah. Well, I must admit, I only do a couple of routines in this genre of magic, which, in all honesty, I haven't done for 7 or 8 years, which I've started doing again purely for this.
Mm-hmm.
Purely for this, because I don't want to tease them too much, but I am going to say, when I spoke to John Carey yesterday, John Carey was raving about it. He said he's got no idea how it's done, and his jaw was on the floor. He actually gave us a fantastic quote for it. Leo Schmetzers, who we all know is a really busy worker. Now, if you know Leo like I do, you'll know, or like any professional magician, they don't add a huge amount to their act. Every time I speak to him, he says, "Are they ready? Because I will be performing that." You know, and that coming from someone like Leo that literally really doesn't do anything within this realm or this genre of magic, you know, it shows how strong it is. He saw it and went, right, well, I'm going to start doing it because of that. So
forget about it. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, so if you want to know what it is, you want to be the first to see the trailer and join us for the live after show as well, make sure you join us for the live launch, which is happening the 28th of this month at 7 p.m. Message in from John Williams saying, just to say to Craig, trivia is brilliant, performed it in the week. Performed it at the weekend and got great reactions. Absolutely love it. That's from John Williams.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, man. I was doing it a lot at the London Magic Convention, and people were raving over it.
Yeah, it's such a great trick. Tommy Burnett, actually, he saw Hard Stretch at the shop. And he loved it. He was here because there was quite a few magicians in that day. Etienne Pradier was here and a few others. I think,
Yeah.
was it when it's... Oh, no. I played Tommy the trailer to it. Sorry, it weren't the day that Etienne was here. But when Etienne was here was the day you guys were filming it. And I know Roman did it on Etienne, and Etienne's mouth just dropped. It's so good. Another question for you, Craig. I've been looking for your project Split Happens. Will this be released again in the future?
Well, Split Happens was one of my first projects. It was routines with a split coin. And it, in my opinion, it's never been touched, really. I mean, the stuff that I put on that project is, I'm really proud of that. You know, I suppose the thing is, all of my old coin stuff, I'm pretty much re-releasing back through AlakazamMagicUK. So
Yeah.
I suppose the question shouldn't go to me; it should go to Pete. Although we are planning a coin set next year. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think you could incorporate a lot of the routines from Split Happens, because I've got updated handlings and new routines with it as well. I think we could incorporate a lot of the stuff that was on the original Split Happens
In this
DVD into that new set, because the new set, without giving too much away, amongst a lot of other things, incorporates something that's similar to a split coin.
Yeah.
So the routines, there would be a certain amount of crossover. So, you know, maybe that's something that you and I could speak about, but I know we're filming that sort of at the early part of next year. Maybe that's a conversation that you and I need to have. But yeah. I mean, it's not available anymore.
100%, mate. And with any luck, keep your eyes open for a new Craig Petty release in December. That's going to be part of the Mirage coin range.
Yeah, part of the Mirage coin range. If that comes out in December, I'm so excited for people to see it. I'm at the House of Secrets with Ryland again on the 25th, 26th, and 27th of November. He's doing the show. I'm doing the close-up. I'm relegated to close-up while he does the show. But I will take that opportunity to get even more live performance footage. I know we've got a ton for it already, but I'll get a load more. I'll get a load more for it.
Drew Perry just put, he was sat next to John when John saw Hard Stretch and his jaw was completely on the floor. He didn't expect it at all. Now, Drew is sort of he's a key to this Hard Stretch release and quite a few future releases through AlakazamMagicUK. He's a creative genius, and he's the one that crafted all the gimmicks for Hard Stretch. And this was a gimmick, even though it looks very, very simple, a lot of people were just turning me down saying it's going to be a nightmare to make. And Drew just went, yeah, I'll do it.
I'll tell you something else about Drew as well. He performed on the show at the Newmarket Meet, and he did
Chinese Challenge?
Chinese Challenge, Troy Hooser's Triple C, which is a routine that I love performing. It's one of my favorite routines. I remember reading that in Destroyers and knowing that I was going to perform it evermore for the rest of my life. It's such a commercial routine. And Drew performed it better than me, and I genuinely think better than Joshua J and better than Troy Hooser even. Like you can tell he's done that like a million times, and his handling was slick, his lines were great, and he took what is in essence a close-up trick and made it play to a room full of people, which is one of the hardest things that you can do. And he did it and smashed it. So I was really impressed. Yeah,
Drew's great. I've got another question for you, Craig. Let me have a look.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it, and you can't prove anything.
Right, I don't quite understand this. It's from Phil, and it says, Craig, good afternoon. When you perform mentalism that involves a reveal that uses the no statement to ensure the same wavelength, what happens when they say yes to the question you ask?
I know exactly what he's talking about. So in a lot of my, of course, don't forget my persona is a comedy performer. So I use the no gag an awful lot, one thing when I do mentalism, especially on stage, is I go, look, we've got to make sure that we're psychically in touch. So I have this pad here. On the other side of the pad, I have a word. It could be any word in the English language. Be honest, tell the truth. Do you have any idea what the word is? No. And you turn around and you show the words no. And I do that an awful lot, and it's on a lot of my videos, so which is a classic gag. I think he's asking what happens if when you say, hey,
Do you know what's
need to
on
be
here?
make sure, be honest, tell the truth, don't lie. Do you have any idea what the word is? Yeah. And they go, yes. What do you do? Well, what I do is I just say, do you have any idea what the word, and it rarely happens, to be honest, because of how I deliver it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you have any idea what the word is? Be honest, tell the truth. Do you have it? Because I'm saying to them, be honest, tell the truth. Do you have any idea what the word is?
Yeah.
So there's no way they can know what the word is.
Yeah.
So the only answer they could possibly give me is no. But it does happen very, very occasionally where they'll say yes. They go, do you have any idea what the word is? Yes. Without skipping a beat, you go, brilliant. What was the word? And they go, banana. If that happens, and really it's down to each individual person's character. My character, and this is how I always pull it off, I turn it around and I go, let me explain something, John. I've got the word no written on the other side of this pad. I'm trying to be hilarious here. The whole idea is I asked you a question where you had to say the answer no, and then I turn it around and I get a big round of applause and people laugh because I'm so witty and clever. Maybe I didn't give you the script ahead of time. Let's try this again. I'm sure the audience didn't know. John, I have a word on the other side of this pad. Do you have any idea what the word is? No. Look at that. No. And it's how you deliver it. You don't deliver it in that kind of almost like comedy myth kind of way.
Yeah, that will get loads of laughs anyway. If you get it wrong and then you sort of say that, no, you were supposed to say, that will get loads of laughs anyway. In fact, it will most probably get you even more laughs when you go back and do it again. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it will seem like, that's a really good answer. A few other things coming in. Tommy Bennett says, Drew is incredible. We've become great friends. Drew said he really appreciates what you said, Craig. Philip Austin said, yep, totally correct, Craig. That's what he was going for. And Alex Bow said, Craig, are you still bringing out a Christmas trick?
Yes, I am. I just saw the trailer for it. It's amazing. I'm bringing out a Christmas trick. It's hilarious. I've never bought it. Honestly, I think at this point I could die happy now. I've got my Christmas trick. It's genuinely been a bucket list trick thing for me. I'm so excited.
It's a great trick, but once again, it's not just the trick. Craig sort of teaches the trick, teaches other things to do with the props, and also teaches his very personal handling, very personal Christmas handling of Out of This World.
Yeah, which is just killer. And every Christmas, every single show I do, I take this out. I do this Out of This World at every single gig that I get over Christmas. I do Out of This World. There is no better Christmas trick. And that's taught as a bonus. But yeah, the actual routine itself, it's about as close as I've ever come to doing a story trick. It's kind of a little bit of a story to it. But most importantly, there's a lot of magical moments as well. And I think that's important. The magical moments fit into the story, and the whole thing just works really well. So
it's very magical.
Yeah, it is.
Very magical. Right, we've got another.
I don't even know. When are we launching that? Is it
I believe it's coming out the first week in December, as early in December as we can get it.
Okay, cool.
So, keep your eyes open for that. But we have got another Christmas trick that has just gone on pre-sale on our website, but it's a Jamie Dawes Christmas trick. So
here we go.
You might not want to do it to kids. So anyway, I've got a trailer for that. We're going to play trailer roulette, so I don't know which one it is. So here we go. Let's take a look. This is now on our site for...
So I'm going to tell you a very Christmassy story about the demon brother of Saint Nick. So the belief is that if you were good and you followed the rules, that you would be greeted by Saint Nick, and he would bless you with toys and gifts and chocolates. But if you were bad and you didn't follow the rules, then Krampus would visit you, and he would curse you for 1,000 years, taking you down to his lair. Now this is a picture of Krampus, the demon of Christmas, and you can see that's his next victim. Obviously didn't follow the rules. So you are all going to get to play the part of Krampus and Christmas, and you are going to decide the fates of all of these people. Now these are pictures of people from Christmases gone past. This is going to be our bless pile, this is going to be our curse pile. So you can make the first decision. One of these we are going to bless. Who should we bless? Bless. This one here. Interesting. One of these we are going to curse. This one. One of these we are going to bless. And one of these we are going to curse. So we've only been doing one of each, so now we're going to go for one of both. So one of these you are going to curse and one that you are going to bless. Curse, bless. Okay. And you get to make the final decision. So one of these we're going to bless, one we're going to curse. Bless, sure, and curse. Interesting. Now, you all made these decisions based on just the pictures that you saw. And it's fair to say that, for example, this is our bless pile. You felt that all of these people deserve to live over all of these people. But you made all of these decisions, and had you have put these in any other pile, then these would not spell out B, L, E, S, S. These would not spell out C-U-R-S-E, but all of this could have been avoided if only you followed the rules. Happy Christmas.
So that is Krampus. That's on our site, and if you check out our emails, there is a little treat in there for you. If you check out the email that was sent out today.
Trust Jamie Jaws to scare the crap out of everybody at Christmas. You know, everyone else, it's the season of goodwill, and he takes the opportunity to scare people to death. That looked a little bit like sort of a reframing and reimagining of The Given.
It is.
It is. That's great, because The Given, for my money, is the best Halloween. Sorry, Nick. Well, okay. It's a toss-up between three. It's a toss-up between Fright Night, The Given, and The Collector. I don't know. I love all three of them, but it's definitely up there. And the methodology is so fooling. Every time I do The Given, and I do it every Halloween, every time I do The Given, I just fool myself. I'm just kind of think to myself, how is this working? Why is this working? It's just a genius way of, it's just genius. It's typical Jamie Dawes thinking. So this is perfect. If that's like that, but like with a Christmas slant on it, and that's brilliant. Brilliant.
And the artwork is great. He's done a great job on the artwork for all the cards. They're in our pro size stock, so they don't look like playing cards. They look like old photographs. Yeah, it's really, really good. Jamie's done very well. Just out of interest, have you ever seen Till Death?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh my word.
No.
Oh, I'm going to send you a Till Death.
Did that come out when I was like, when I left the Magic community during that
probably,
sort of 8, 9
probably. It's been
At that
out.
point, I wasn't playing Magic or anything. I was just, out of it. So I didn't see anything for a long period of time.
Right. I've got to send you it. I honestly, mate, it's a spooky trick. It's a storytelling trick. But the ending to it is killer. It really is. Do you know Jim Critchlow?
Yes.
It's a Jim Critchlow effect. He performed it to me and Jenny in the Ruskin one night after Blackpool, after the convention. And I honestly didn't have a clue, and it left me with goosebumps. It really did. It's, yeah, I'm going to send you one. I'm going to get the boys to send you one because you'll do it on the review show. It's such a great trick. You'll love it.
I'll another AlakazamMagicUK review show anytime. That sounds amazing.
It's great, mate. It's really good.
You know, actually, I've just had an idea for next year for a Halloween and a Christmas project for AlakazamMagicUK.
Oh.
I just sent you a text.
Oh. Let me have a little look. Nice. And I'm even going to text you that back. Nice. With 3 eyes. Yeah.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah.
Instant book. Anyway. Got any other questions? What are we doing now?
Alexander Ross said, is there no speaking on Jamie's video? Now, you could hear the voice, yeah?
Yeah, I could, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't at all until I put it on my computer. So I think he's filmed the audio in mono and he hasn't double layered it. So if you watch the trailer on our site, make sure you've got 2 speakers because I think it's in mono. I think his voice is on the left-hand channel. Just the left hand. I couldn't hear it. I was thinking, oh my God, there's no audio. And then I put it on the computer and obviously there is. So yeah, listen to it through your computer speakers rather than one headphone in like me and then you'll hear it. Owen said, Till Death is great. After years, I still perform it. Craig, you're going to love it. Tommy Burnett says, I love Till Death. I do it every Halloween.
I'll tell you what else I like as well that's kind of got that spooky feel to it. Nicholas's portrait.
Yeah. Yeah, great little trick. Great little trick. And if you haven't picked one of them up, do so because it might be a product we only bring out around about Halloween. Like Krampus, Jamie's one, we're only getting a small amount done and we're going to get a small amount done every year around about November time. So if you miss out on this run, you won't be able to get them until next year, which is what we do with most of our Christmas tricks because not many people are going to perform a Christmas trick in the middle of the summer. Yeah, so we produce a smaller amount and we produce them every year.
Talking about Christmas tricks, by the way, one of my favourite Christmas tricks to perform at Christmas, if you haven't already picked it up, is Snowway Man by you and Ace. That's a great trick. Yeah, but Steve-O, great trick. Absolutely amazing trick. Really good. Works for adults, for kids, works for family audiences, works corporates. It's just, you've got that comedy reveal that gives it my kind of more of an adult edge, or you can kind of go in the other direction. Snowway Man is great. It's just perfect to carry around with you as an opener.
Yeah, 100%. And Darren Bain says, since Craig is there, a huge shout out to Netrix. What an absolutely amazing resource.
Oh, thank you, Darren. That's what I've been doing all day today. I've been coding new stuff on there. If you go onto the courses page by tonight, you'll see that it's all been changed around and we've changed all of the dashboard and everything, and we're just adding a saved section for videos, which is an absolute pain in the arse. But yeah, I spend most of my time working on that right now.
You gave me, the first time I really saw it was at the London Magic Convention, Andy and Preston Nyman's convention, which was a great convention, by the way. But you showed me the dashboard. It's so advanced. It's like Netflix.
It is. It really is. A lot of people think it's like just a Patreon thing, but it's not. It's like got its own thing. You can it just really, and we're constantly adding everything. So we've got a community in there as well. And when people put suggestions in, we make it happen. So when it first launched, people were like, oh, we want to stream the videos onto our TVs. So we added a casting feature on there. Then people wanted to download it. So now there's a download feature on there. People wanted this, people wanted that. So every time people say they want something, we make it happen. And we're just constantly uploading new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's about 300 tricks on there now.
Wow. One of the things that I really liked is you've got the feature, just like Netflix or any of the proper streaming services, is if I'm watching a long video and Jenny calls me for dinner or something, so I close my iPad down, then I get on my phone and log in from my phone or whatever I do, it will pick up at the same place I stopped.
Yeah, from the exact same place on any device. And not only that, when you go into your dashboard, it'll also tell you the percentage of the way through you are the course as well. And I didn't tell you this, but every week you get sent on a Sunday that goes out automatically a weekly email. And it's just an email of every single course on the Netrix, which ones you've watched, which ones you haven't watched, and which ones you've watched, what percentage of the way through you are through them. And you can click on any one of them to go back in.
That's great. It's honestly, it's great. And hopefully when you're down in December, we'll be talking a bit more about it. So we'll keep everyone informed. If you don't know about Netrix, check it out. But we're going to have a special event going on in December as well, where you can learn some great new magic. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Let me have a look here. What's also, AlakazamMagicUK got my order today based on Craig's YouTube reviews. Wow, thank you very much, Owen. So we have not got a lot of time left. I know you've got to shoot out soon, so we've got about 10 minutes left, and I've still got a couple of trailers to drop. So let's take a look at another trailer. Now this is quite a fun effect. Harry did it on his socials last week, I believe, and we sold out within minutes. We've just had more stock come in. So let's take a look at this. So that's Size Surprise. They're back in stock now. And I will say as well, I've got... Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, Ryland did that on his socials yesterday. Ryland did that on his Instagram account. And literally yesterday, it went up like last night. Like he filmed it like very late. Is what Mum put it up for him after he went to bed. He's had about 5,000 views on it. Like it's an almost guaranteed like view getter. Like he's had about, and what's nice about it as well is the trick that you just saw in the trailer. You also get bonus cards, so you can do the same thing but with the kings. So as well as having the ace 2, 3, 4, 5, you also get the same gaffs in there for the 4 kings. So you can show the 4 kings, and you can go boom, and you can have the 4 kings in different sizes. And it's actually really practical to do in a gigging situation. I thought it wouldn't be. I thought it'd be an Instagram thing.
Yeah.
But what Tenyo have done, they've given you this like little plastic holder that's got like it's just like see-through plastic, like a Patrick wallet, but without an open. And you just put the cards in there, and it allows you to take everything out, show it, and take everything out in one unit, and then do the thing. It's just great, and it takes about 10 seconds to reset. It's actually a practical trick. A lot of Tenyo tricks, you think, oh, it's a toy. You wouldn't do that in a gig. You can actually do that in a gig really well.
Yeah. Do you know what? We've been discussing this anyway. Last year, I thought was maybe the weakest year ever for Tenyo.
Do you remember that thing where you eat the phone? Oh my god!
Yeah, I do. Whereas
Honestly,
this
it
year,
was stupid.
I think could be one of their strongest. They've got size surprise, they've got lucky
Great.
strings, they've got the missing or the final piece, which has quickly become one of my favourite dems in the shop. You know, the missing puzzle piece. And they've got Mr. Danger, which has been delayed, but boy, am I waiting to get my hands on that, because I haven't got a clue.
No, me neither. Fooled the crap out of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's yeah, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. They've got some really strong stuff out this year. I think from the ones I've seen Size Surprise and I've seen the Mona Lisa trick.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see the other two, and both of those are really good. Both of those are really, really good.
Yeah. Well, the Mona Lisa, when you think, I think the actual selection method is most probably the best selection method for that I've seen. I know Harry used to do the missing piece on his stand-up show, and even though he had a great selection method, it wasn't as clean as this. I mean, this is hands off. You know, they shake them up, they mix them all up, they tip them all out, they do this all over the table, they pick up a piece, and it's the piece that goes in the puzzle. And bearing in mind, the big one was, what, 300, 400, 500 pounds, something around that? This is 21 pounds. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
So
yeah,
we've got one of the, we've got one of them framed in the shop, and that's what we use. So it's covered up in the shop. I get them to pick a piece, and I say, you know, that's perfect. You picked exactly the piece I wanted you to pick. Well done. And then it's that sort of weird moment where they're going, well, that's a bit rubbish. And I say, no, it genuinely is the piece I wanted you to pick. Look. And then you take that off. And the moment you take that off and they see the puzzle with one piece missing, you just see their jaws drop and their eyes open wide. It's so cool. Another question for you, Craig. Craig, what are you playing with or practicing at the moment?
Let me think. I'm playing around with, I mentioned the coin set that's coming out with Alakazam next year, not the one we talked about in December, which is based on something I bought out years ago. I'm creating new routines for that at the moment. So by my office, by where I sit, I've got all of those coins, and I'm just constantly fiddling around with all of them. What else am I looking at? Oh my gosh. Lloyd Barnes has this thing come out called the Society of Secrets, and he's putting a bunch of routines in there. He's got a Triumph that is just incredible. I've been practicing that because I think it's like one of the best Triumphs I've ever seen with a regular deck. That's really good. And I'm currently playing with, because I've got to review it, with you know, Brent Braun's new wallet, the FPS Ceta wallet.
Yeah.
I'm currently playing around with that, which is quite nice. There's a lot of features in that, so I've just been playing around with that. Trying to think if there's anything else other than stuff that I'm working on with my own material. That's really it at the moment, I think. Oh no, I tell a lie. I've got a gig this weekend, and I'm putting together, basically they've asked me to make it tarot themed. So I got my Penguin sent me over Rick Lax's Past, Present and Future.
That's great.
Which is awesome. And I've just been trying to get my head around that. Not in terms of the handling, because it's self-working, but I've been trying to memorize what all the different tarot cards mean, because I don't really do tarot reading. But they wanted me to kind of bring that element into it. So I'm trying to remind myself this card means what that card means, so I can kind of do a half convincing sort of demonstration of tarot reading before I do that. I honestly think that that's one of the strongest tricks Penguin have brought out for a while. That Past, Present, Future is brilliant.
It's amazing. It's not cheap, but it's great value for money. The quality of the deck is superb. I mean, I get on very well with the guys at Penguin anyway, but they've been knocking it out the park with releases. Really have.
They have. Really have. I mean, the stuff that they've got coming out. And I get a chat because I know Sean really well. He sends me a lot of trailers and tutorials before they drop, so I know what's coming up. Damn, the stuff that they've got coming out with is just incredible. They've got some really great material. In the next 7 days, I work with Penguin an awful lot to be the front of some of their projects, like the boom box. I was the guy and the flip barn. There's a download coming out in the next 7 days. And it's not by me. It's by a guy that's super scoopy thing here. It's by Matt Mello, who's just brilliant. But I front the project and do all the tutorials and the performances and everything. It's incredible. It's really incredible. I just before I jumped on this, Sean said to me it's coming out in the next 3 or 4 days. So look out for that. Wow. It's really good.
Yeah, be looking out for that. So one more trailer and then we'll come back and say our goodbyes, Craig, because I know you've got to shoot off, I've got to shoot off. So let's play this. And I will say any magician needs to own a set of these. You'll know as soon as you see it, Craig. But
world champion magician Michael Amar poured over hundreds of effects to handpick the finest collection of card magic ever assembled in one place. These simple yet powerful effects are easy to learn for beginners, yet strong enough to be included in any professional repertoire. In the first volume, you'll learn 10 classic effects such as the Acrobatic Aces by Di Vernon, where the audience selects 4 random cards. Then, like magic, they visually turn into the aces. Cannibal Cards by Lynn Searles is a great packet-style trick where 4 kings literally eat the spectators' cards. Every routine in this project has been hand-picked to have the most powerful effect on the audience, yet are very easy to learn and perform. Michael Amar is well known as a world-class teacher and will go through each step of the routine as well as utilizing multiple camera angles for the best learning experience possible. The practice section will help you master the secrets and special moves, giving you the confidence to perform like a master. Easy to master Card Miracles is perfect for beginners who want to start performing professional card magic without sleight of hand. This is also a fantastic library of effects for the seasoned professional who wants to add a couple extra pieces to their existing repertoire. Welcome to Easy to Master Card Miracles.
I am so glad they're coming back out.
Me too. I've been wondering when this would happen. I mean, L&L, Murphy's own the entire L&L range.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be the start of a tsunami. And it's great because one of the things I'm a massive advocate of is hidden gems and tricks that have come out years ago that people forget about. And the Easy to Master series is just like that. But I mean, there's so many DVDs in the L&L range that deserve to have an entirely fresh audience. Ryland's learning card manipulation as well as having lessons from Russ Stevens. I've just got him looking at the Jeff McBride stuff over again.
You got the Jeff McBride, you've got all the Darryl stuff, Bill Malone. There's so much super stuff. But yeah, I mean, my DVD collection isn't as big now as it was, but something that's always been in my collection, Easy to Master Card Miracles and the full set of Darryl's Encyclopedia of Card Sleights. Now, I know as magicians we've done it a long time and we know what we need to know to do what we do, but when I'm creating magic, if I've got a routine that I'm creating where I need to do the same move 3 times, I'll check out Darryl because he'll give me 5 different ways to do it. And then I can change the ways, and they're just great resources. And the Easy to Masters, I remember I had them when they first came out on video, on VHS. And I think it was one of the best set of videos I think I ever purchased for routines that I still do to this day.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally,
So
100%.
that brings us to the end. Just a lot of love for you, Craig. We've got
Thanks, guys.
Eon said, a big shout out to Craig, got almost every product you've released these 2 years and they're all gems. Nicholas Mavresis says, hi Craig. So a lot of love for you, Craig. Craig, thank you so much for stepping in at very, very short notice.
More than welcome, Pete. Thanks for having me.
And I know you've got to go and pick the kids up now.
My wife has just sent me a text saying, I'm outside, let's go, we're going to be late for the kids.
Right.
I've got to pick up Ryan and then.
Okay, mate, we will see you soon. Thank you so much, Craig.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, next Tuesday, the 22nd, I think it's Tuesday, we've got the fantastic Mark James coming down right here in the Academy for his Academy session. If you haven't got a ticket, go grab one. And also on the 28th, we have got the launch of a brand new release by Roman Armstrong. We're keeping our fingers crossed that Roman will actually be here in the studio. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you next Tuesday on the live. Also, just forgot to say, if you have the AlakazamMagicUK app, we will be hopefully going live this afternoon talking about a few products that have come in store. So keep an eye on your app for the push notification. If you haven't got the app, get on the App Store, get on Google Play and download the AlakazamMagicUK app and you can watch us live within the app. Right, I will see you later. Thanks for watching, guys.